Welcome to the farm.
Welcome to the farm. I'm Justin, and today we got the Kubota in the workshop because we had a little bit of electrical damage. So we're going to go ahead and get this fixed up. So a while back I was out mowing our fields, and our south field has a bunch of low trees. And when I started mowing, I forgot to put my rops down, and I got my rops into some tree branches, which one, ripped some of the electrical from my lights. This light's supposed to be facing backwards. This light's supposed to be up over here facing forward. And obviously this is all ripped up and coming apart. So today we're going to work on fixing that up. But before we do that, I got something else we need to take care of. So my other issue is still lighting electrical related. I have two switches here. This one does the rear facing light. This one does the two forward facing lights. And last winter when I was plowing snow, plowing at night, and the switch just snapped right off. So we're going to start by taking out this plastic piece here and replacing that switch. So I believe to take this plastic piece off, it's just 3 bolts, 10 millimeter, 1, 2, 3. So we'll go ahead and brack those out. Now I believe this should just kind of lift out of place. Alright, so I lied. There is a 4th bolt right here. Alright, now hopefully this will just lift out of place. Beautiful. So now I got this plastic piece loose, I can go ahead and take this boot off the switch. Loosen up the nut holding it. And pull the switch right out. And we should be able to just disconnect the old switch. I'm going to reconnect the new one. There we go. Now we can put that back together. Well, now that we get that switch done, we can turn our attention to the actual lights themselves. See if we can't get these things working. So the first thing I'm going to do is get these things back in the right position. Now that I got the lights in the right position, I'm going to go ahead and start taking some of this wire loom apart and kind of see what broke where. Okay, so I got the wire loom all taken apart up here, and it looks like the only thing that really broke was this black wire pulled out of this connector here, and the red wire pulled out of that connector here. So I think what we're going to do, just because I have new connectors and better connectors, is I'm going to rewire this whole section up here and see if we can't get it a little bit better than it is. So I picked up some new watertight shrinkable connectors, and I'm going to take out these ones that are not weather tight and not shrinkable, and hopefully we get a better connection on those now. All right, so I got everything connected back together. It looks really awful right now, but I want to go ahead and test this before I heat shrink these tubes and start wrapping everything back up, because if there's an issue, I don't want to take it all back apart again. So let's go ahead and test them. All right, backlight. Perfect. And front lights. Nice. So the next step will be to heat shrink all this stuff, and normally what I would have used would be a torch like this, and I don't like doing it this way. I've tried the little butane torches, but for me, they don't last very long, and I don't think they work really well. This, I have a tendency to singe wires, and since everything's so close in here, I don't like it. So I got something else we're gonna try. So I picked up this battery-powered Milwaukee heat gun. We're gonna give that a shot and see how that works. Well, it took a little while to heat up, but once it did, I think it worked fairly well. It's definitely slower than using the torch, but I don't have any scorched wires or anything, and it looked like it went pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll go ahead, we'll knock out these other 4 connections, and then we'll get back to tidying this up. All right, so I got all 6 connectors heat shrunk, and the heat gun worked really, really well. The only thing I suggest is you don't do more than a couple at a time, because this handle gets really, really hot with prolonged use. So for quick little heat jobs, this thing would be great. Anything prolonged, not so much. Even now, it's still pretty hot to touch. But yeah, we'll go ahead and start getting this all cleaned up and making it look a lot better. So even though I already heat shrunk these connectors, I'm still gonna go ahead and just throw some tape around them, just as a little added precaution. So now that we got all these wires back in the loam, we can go ahead and start cleaning all this up, making it look better. I'm just going to use some zip ties and zip tie it right to the wraps. One last thing I want to check, I left a little loop here where the joint for the wraps is, because I want to be able to put this down and up, because obviously when I mow, I need to fold this down. So I'm going to go ahead and test, make sure that this has enough play in it and that we're not binding anywhere, and if I even need this little loop here. So after running through a cycle, I definitely need that little loop here. As it went down, this pulled tight, but it looks like it's just enough, so I think that's gonna work great. We're gonna run with it. Well, it feels so good to have this done. Those wires have been hanging there broken since the beginning of summer, and it's now like August. So it's been a couple months that they've been hanging like this. So it feels good to have it done. Like I said, I don't really need them in summer because I'm usually heading to bed before it gets too dark anyway. But during the winter, when I gotta plow driveways and stuff in snow, I end up doing that in the dark quite a bit, and these lights really come in handy. If you want to see them, stick around to the end of the video. I'll put a little clip of what it looks like without them and with them. But otherwise, yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.